Hey folks, this is LA Russell Chick. Recently, dvondudley revealed who he experienced racism from during his time with the WWF, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. While he has mentioned this incident before in a few interviews, his most recent interview with Maven names the person for the very first time who was responsible for these racist acts. There is a long history of racism in professional wrestling, particularly with African Americans or Black Americans. So this subject should not be taken lightly, and everybody that participated in this knows this. There are two videos in which Devon does discuss the racist incident. In the first video, he is speaking with Maven and clearly explains exactly what happened piece by piece. In the second video, he is again talking with Maven, this time with Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray also states that following the incident, because he was there, he felt that he needed to reassure and protect Devon to make sure he didn't react in a way that could have been out of line. Before Devon confirmed that it was Good Ole JR, several names were circulated, which would include Michael P.S. Hayes or Doc Hendricks. He is known to have gotten into some incidents with Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley. Then there's Pat Patterson. Then there is Johnny Ace or Johnny Laurinaitis, Vince McMahon, and Kevin Dunn. According to Devon, JR walked into catering and says, "Hello, Paul. Hello, Dreamer. Hello, Spike. Hello, Bubba," but does not recognize or say anything to Devon. So Paul Heyman chirps up and says, "What? You don't see Devon there? What? You don't like him because he's black?" Then JR replied, "Yes, you're damn right. I don't like him because he's black." Now, from how this exchange was described by Devon, it may have been intended to be a joke that just landed extremely poorly. JR allegedly responded by being sarcastic and agreeing with the comment and just moved on, possibly not even thinking about it second twice. However, Devon clearly did not perceive it as a joke. And this also makes me think the way Paul Heyman is described to have said this, that maybe he had a bone to pick with JR. Also, I think Paul may have wanted to make sure that Devon gets recognized, since ECW was sort of in or invading in WWF, and they're kind of a band of brothers, this all for one, one for all. So you got a couple of things happening there. Now, Devon, in the very first interview with Maven, gave some hints that there may have been more incidences with JR. Now, just curious, has Paul Heyman, Spike Dudley, or Dreamer ever been questioned about this incident? Bubba Ray has already said, yeah, he was there and he had mentioned his involvement, but have these other guys ever been questioned about it? Now, what many people do have a struggle with or refuse to understand sometimes is that jokes about race and color often land very differently for African Americans, Black Americans. If you truly don't know someone, it's just best to avoid that commentary. Even if you believe there's a familiarity that exists, just don't say anything. Paul Heyman arguably should have not made that comment, and that probably would have solved everything. Now, you got to remember, they're in the workplace here. Wrestling rings, locker rooms, and venues may feel informal, but these are the workplaces for these guys. And in essence, a hostile environment was created, and this should not really be tolerated. While some may perceive these remarks as harmless, the person on the receiving end experienced it differently, as clearly Devon did, and he's now telling us 20 years later. Adding to the conversation, R-Truth has also publicly stated in interviews that JR and Bruce Pritchard exhibited racist behavior. And historically, as a survival tactic, black wrestlers have been very careful to choose their battles to remain employed, hoping that, there'll be a bigger payday down the way. Yeah. I don't want to devalue anything Devon has said, because you can clearly see that it has affected him. And 20 years later, he still remembers this. Just like how I have had racist events happen in my workplace, and I would not want that devalued. But I have to be honest with you, the way that he has described this makes me think this was just a bad joke that landed poorly, and Paul Heyman did not help out either way. Folks, what say you? I'm really curious to see what you think about, and have these other guys from ECW ever been questioned or said anything about this incident? LA Wrestle Chick.